Tonight, the major winter storm blasting the eastern U.S. and the threat that remains. Millions in the storm zone from the Midwest to the Northeast. That system bringing heavy snow and ice, as well as flash floods, even tornadoes. The latest forecast. An American hostage released from Gaza after nearly 500 days in captivity. The emotional reunion with his family as fears grow that the ceasefire deal could break down. The new warning from Ukrainian President Zelenskyy, his call for a European army to protect the continent instead of relying on the U.S. The White House attempting to reverse the firing of some nuclear safety workers and now facing a new challenge as they try to do that. The high-profile sexual assault lawsuit against Jay-Z dropped by his accuser. What led to this blockbuster decision? Speaking out, accused CEO killer Luigi Mangioni's new message from behind bars. Caught on camera, the daring underground rescue to save a 16-year-old boy trapped in an abandoned mine. And high-tech drones leading to happy reunions like these.
Oh my God, we got him!
Why more and more owners are turning to this cutting-edge technology to find their best friends.
This is NBC Nightly News with Jose Diaz-Balart.
Good evening. As we come on the air, a large, powerful storm that has marched across the country is now taking aim at the eastern U.S. On the north side of the storm, heavy snow like this plows in upstate New York, trying to keep the roads clear. In the south, scenes like this one in Kentucky. Entire neighborhoods submerged from flooding rains. Tonight, some 65 million people are under winter weather alerts from Nebraska to Maine. 20 million are at risk for severe weather from East Texas to Georgia. And some folks in that area could even get strong tornadoes. We'll have the latest forecast in just a minute, but we begin with Maya Eaglin in the storm zone in New York State.
The race is on to clear roads as yet another dangerous winter storm barrels across the country. A 1-2 knockout punch. Stretching all the way down south.
Our little county has had a lot of devastation. We do not need any more rain.
Rain and life-threatening flash floods in Tennessee. Streets disappearing under rising waters in parts of Kentucky. The National Guard on alert in Virginia. Out west, hazards on the highways. This pickup in Oregon struggling to pull out a semi that veered off a ramp. In Wyoming, this truck ripped apart, boxes all over the road after sliding on ice. And in Southern California, an almost impossible cleanup ahead after mudslides tore apart land scarred by recent wildfires. This latest system, yet another hit for folks already so weary of winter. Like Chris Gent, who's Poughkeepsie, New York's Public Works Commissioner. Chris, how are you feeling about the salt supply here?
You can see we're low, and we're getting low. We're getting prepared, but it typically is much higher than this, and I would like to, replenish it as soon as we possibly can.
Maya's in Poughkeepsie, New York, where snow's been falling for hours now. Maya, long night ahead for the road workers there.
Yeah, Jose, as you can see behind me, this tractor is actually loaded up with salt right now, refilling the plow trucks. And with so many back-to-back storms recently, local officials are keeping a close eye on their dwindling salt supplies. Jose?
Maya Eaglin, thank you. Let's get right to NBC News meteorologist Angie Lassman for the very latest forecast. Angie, this is just the beginning.
It is indeed, Jose. We've got multiple threats from this system that will last well into tomorrow. Right now, a tornado watch has been issued. That's going to last until 10 o'clock Central Time. You can see the heavy rain associated with this, along with the wintry weather that continues to inch its way farther to the north into parts of the Northeast. We'll see this heavy rain and that line of thunderstorms work its way east as we get through the day tomorrow. Much of that working offshore by the time we get late into the day. But notice the lake effect snow that sticks around across parts of the Great Lakes region. Upwards of a foot is expected in some spots of the interior New England area. And on top of that, the flash flooding threat is ongoing across parts of the Tennessee Valley. This, unfortunately, Jose, will last well into our Sunday.
Angie Lassman, thank you so very much. Overseas, an American was among 3 hostages released in Gaza today, but it comes as the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas is seeing signs of strain. Richard Engel reports from Jerusalem.
This was the moment when Avital Dekelchen first saw her husband alive after nearly 500 days in Gaza. It was like he'd returned from the dead. Soon, the two were reunited. The last time Sagi, an Israeli-American, saw his wife, he locked her in a safe room in their home and went off to fight Hamas gunmen, who then captured him. Avital was pregnant with their third daughter at the time. Sagi saw that daughter, now one, for the first time today. We attended a viewing party in southern Israel, where Sagi's friends watched live on Israeli TV as Hamas fighters handed over 3 hostages to the Red Cross. Joy and relief as they popped the champagne. That the hostages looked relatively well, able to walk, and not emaciated like some of the other freed hostages.
This latest release almost didn't happen, and negotiations and threats continued right until the last minute. But now that it has, Sagi Dechelhan's friends, supporters, and colleagues are emotional. They are excited.
Last week, Hamas announced it wouldn't go ahead with today's hostage release, claiming Israel wasn't living up to its end of the ceasefire. President Trump said Israel should resume its war on Gaza unless Hamas released all of their hostages by today. That didn't happen, but the ceasefire is, at least for now, back on track. As part of the deal, Israel began to free more than 350 Palestinian prisoners and allow in more aid to Gaza.
More than 70 hostages remain in Gaza, including another Israeli American. He was serving in the Israeli military, and according to the agreement, soldiers are to be released in the next phase of the ceasefire, which is still being negotiated. Jose?
Richard Engel in Jerusalem, thank you. Ukrainian President Zelenskyy is issuing an urgent message to the world, raising new concerns about the future of his country and all of Europe. Courtney Kuby reports.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy on the world stage at the Munich Security Conference today, warning that as the United States steps back from Europe, the allies here need to step up.
The old days are over when America supported Europe just because it always had.
President Donald Trump blindsiding close U.S. allies this week, revealing a call with Russian President Vladimir Putin, announcing they agreed to begin negotiations to end the war in Ukraine. Zelenskyy demanding his country be included in any talks.
Ukraine will never accept deals made behind our backs without our involvement. No decisions about Ukraine without Ukraine. No decisions about Europe without Europe.
Free speech, I fear.
This after Vice President J.D. Vance stunned the crowd here, accusing Europe of suppressing free speech, failing on illegal immigration, and ignoring voters. Germany's foreign minister today reacting to the vice president's comments. The speech, expected to discuss peace talks, barely mentioned Ukraine.
In his speech, he focused not on peace, security. I don't know why he took this road, rather focused on the question of internal issues in Europe.
Vance's meeting with far-right AfD party leader condemned by the German chancellor as an attempt to interfere with his country's elections. Olaf Scholz rejecting Vance's meeting.
National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff are headed to Saudi Arabia to begin negotiations towards peace talks between Russia and Ukraine. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio, already in the region, is expected to join them. Jose?
Courtney Kuby in Munich, thank you. And don't miss Kristen Welker's exclusive interview with Ukrainian President Zelenskyy tomorrow on Meet the Press, right here on NBC. To Washington now, where the White House is trying to reverse some layoffs for nuclear safety workers who were let go this week. But now officials say they're having trouble reaching them. Aaron Gilchrist is traveling with President Trump. Aaron, good evening.
Jose, NBC News has obtained an email sent to employees of the National Nuclear Security Administration. It says in part the termination letters for some NNSA probationary employees are being rescinded, adding that officials do not have a good way to get in touch with those personnel. Now, this effort to unfire these federal workers comes after thousands of layoffs across several agencies as Elon Musk and his Doge team work to slash federal spending and the workforce. And tonight, the president of the union that represents immigration judges tells me the Justice Department has fired 20 of its members, including 18 recent hires yesterday. I'm told each of them could have handled up to 800 immigration cases per year. Jose?
Aaron Gilchrist in West Palm Beach, thank you. And now to the story of the woman dropping her sexual assault lawsuit against music mogul and superstar Jay-Z after NBC News discovered inconsistencies in her account. Chloe Milas has more.
Tonight, Sean Carter, better known as rap superstar and business mogul Jay-Z, able to declare victory after the case against him was voluntarily dismissed with prejudice, according to a filing in U.S. District Court in Manhattan. The civil suit against Jay-Z was on behalf of an adult woman who said she was raped back in 2000, following the MTV Video Music Awards when she was just 13 years old and went to an after party.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through.
The Jane Doe accuser, a 38-year-old mother from Alabama, spoke with NBC News in December and asked us not to reveal her identity. Her story then had several inconsistencies, among them that her father drove about 5 hours to pick her up after the alleged assault.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened.
But in a later interview with NBC News, her father said he could not corroborate her story, telling us, "I feel like I would remember that, and I don't." Jay-Z always denied any wrongdoing. The superstar, who has won 25 Grammys and is worth an estimated $2.5 billion, called the lawsuit a money grab, saying in a statement, "The court must protect victims, of course, while with the same ethical responsibility, the courts must protect the innocent from being accused without a shred of evidence."
Chloe, Sean Diddy Combs also had been named in that suit, which is now dropped.
Yes, so Combs no longer faces this civil suit, but he faces dozens of others which have been filed against him. He was also charged with sex trafficking and racketeering in the fall. He pleaded not guilty to those charges, but he is behind bars awaiting his criminal trial, which is expected to start this May.
Chloe Milas, thank you so very much. Still ahead tonight, the new message to supporters from the suspect accused of killing the CEO of United Healthcare. Plus a daring underground rescue, how this teenager was saved after he was trapped in an abandoned mine. Back now with the first comments from accused CEO killer Luigi Mangione since December. In a statement, Mangione, who's facing first-degree murder and other charges, thanked people who wrote to him while he's in jail and said it's impossible for him to reply to all of them. It comes months after he allegedly shot and killed United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. And now to a daring rescue caught on camera. A 16-year-old boy saved after he was trapped in an abandoned mine. Dana Griffin has more.
No, we're going to go lower. We're going to a lower.
Lower. An intense underground rescue captured on camera. Crews in Northern California saving a 16-year-old stuck 40 feet deep in an abandoned gold mine.
Does that feel like it's not around your leg? Yeah.
Battalion Chief Nick Solis ran the operation.
We've never gone into a mine this deep.
Captain James Michaels, seen here, had the toughest job.
At any minute, he could have slipped off of the rocks. Everything was wet. It was like marbles underneath of his feet.
The teen and two friends went exploring Monday about 40 miles northeast of Sacramento, using rope to rappel down. But when they tried to climb out, the friends made it, but their rope snapped, plunging the 16-year-old to the bottom. His friends leading rescuers to the mine's entrance.
Medical rescue for a 16-year-old male stuck in a mine shaft.
They found him wearing Crocs, clinging to a tiny cobblestone ledge.
We had to act extremely quickly. It was highly likely that he would have lost that strength, fallen to the bottom for the second time, and probably sustained some very serious injuries. Pull him up.
Once harnessed, the teen was pulled to safety and taken to a hospital.
What do you think about the efforts of your crew, especially Captain Michaels?
Oh, I'm so proud. You know, nothing stopped these guys.
A rescue as good as gold. Dana Griffin, NBC News.
We're back in a moment with the high-tech help dog owners are using to help find their missing dogs. We're back with a high-tech solution for dog owners. If you've ever owned one, you know the fear if they escape and get lost. But now some dog owners are turning to drones to find man's best friend. Maggie Vespa has a closer look.
After a days-long agonizing search, a drone's cutting-edge thermal and video cameras
Oh my God, got it!
Yes, we got him! We got him!
Capturing the heart-stopping moments, Charlie, the missing Bernese mountain dog, is finally found.
Oh my God, we got him!
A happy ending David Nowak and Kate Belmonte won't soon forget. It had been nearly a week since the suburban Chicago couple's 2-year-old pup had run away. They posted flyers, alerted neighbors. For days, nothing.
We even thought, like, maybe someone stole him, like, he's injured.
That was, like, terrifying.
Finally, someone on social media floated an idea, hiring professional search teams, including Mike Smith of Smithic Air, who uses special heat-sensing drones.
Oh my gosh.
That there's a deer hanging out.
There's a deer right there.
With their nearly 20-time video zoom to find animals hidden even in densely wooded areas.
Is this just to you, like, undeniable proof of the love that humans have for their pets?
They meet me and they're at their worst moment, really. They've lost a family member.
To show you how this kind of search works, Smith has his drone overhead right now. First, you can see our crew in this field on that thermal imagery. The heat sources are so clear. And then he switches to video, and you can see just how easy we are to spot.
Finding lost pets, now the bulk of Smith's business.
There are some days that I'm going out after my day job and searching 2 totally separate searches for dogs.
Nationwide, it's a growing trend, with desperate owners coast to coast paying drone operators hundreds of dollars to find their furry friends.
Jack, look, it's Daddy!
From Oklahoma.
Oh, Jack! Jack, it's Mama!
To Colorado.
Good job.
To Massachusetts.
Oh, I missed you.
This burgeoning industry, time and time again, churning out happy homecomings like Charlie's.
I just jumped and I hugged Mike and gave him the big kiss. He got some treat.
As for Charlie, the gentle giant now recovering with unlimited treats at home.
Mike?
Mike coming to wish him well. A heartwarming reunion thanks to a high-tech search from above.
You'd pay everything to get him back.
Yeah, definitely.
Come on.
Maggie Vespa, NBC News, Crystal Lake, Illinois.
And when we come back, there's good news tonight about hard work paying off for this beloved employee and the special way her school said thank you. There's good news tonight. So often the good news doesn't get as much attention as the bad. So every Saturday, we highlight the many people who spread joy and love. And these are just some of those stories this week. Talk about a special delivery. This New Jersey neighborhood uniting to celebrate UPS driver Anthony Romano's retirement after almost 40 years on the road. For Anthony, this was more than just a job. These customers, well, he considers them family.
When I walked off, all the memories that I had throughout the years were there. It made my job for 38 years so special.
Love you!
Are you?
And there was hug.
You are one I think about.
After hug.
It's so great to see you.
Oh my gosh.
After hug at Norfolk County Agricultural High School in Walpole, Massachusetts for beloved lunch lady Betty Duquette, the 81-year-old who recently retired, honored when the school named a building after her. The same building where she worked for more than 40 years.
Teachers, staff, office workers, and most of all, my family of Aggie students whom I love and care about. I will remember you always.
There was so much love in Laredo, Texas. Look at this warm welcome back for 5th grader Kiara Vertiga, a real fighter who's back at school after winning her 2-year battle with cancer. The hallways at LaGuardia Elementary lined with students, staff, and heartfelt messages of hope.
My parents been taking care of me, and I really like this because I never had anything like this experience.
Just do it.
Near Cincinnati, unbelievable strength and profound bravery. That's Mom, Allie Campbell, surrounded by family, shaving her head as she goes through treatments for breast cancer. But soon after, she found out she wasn't fighting alone. The Goshen Township Police Department saw on social media what Allie was going through. Officer Matt Bucksath put out the all call, and they decided to shave their heads too. Why'd you guys do this?
I saw Allie's video the night she shaved her head, and it was raw and emotional, and you could see the emotion in her face. And in that moment, I felt we need to do something to show her that we see her and we're here to support her. She's not in this by herself.
So, Allie, how do you react to this?
I'm blessed. I just cried. For the cops, the officers to all get together and do this, it was just the most amazing thing.
Officer, what's the bigger message?
Bigger message is stand behind those people who need the help in the community. If we can stand behind someone who needs our support at that point in time, then we stand behind them. We're in this together.
That's NBC Nightly News for this Saturday. Hallie Jackson will be here tomorrow night. But tonight, check out the new Spanish language episodes of Dateline, premiering at 7 p.m. on Telemundo. I'm Jose Diaz-Balart. Thank you for the privilege of your time, and good night.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.